was a time when a man could walk into a barbershop, sit back and relax and escape the cares of the day, while a skilled craftsman turned his look from mountain man to classy gentleman. Well, neighbor, that time is now at Hanley's Good Time and Barbershop. At Hanley's, they specialize in men's haircuts, including beard trims and classic straight razor shaves. They won't forget that hot towel either. You can schedule an appointment on their website at hanleysbarbershop.com. That's HANLEYS barbershop.com. Located in San Marcos, Texas at 322 West Hopkins between Selleck's and Gumby's Pizza, right in the old Thomas house. When you get there, talk to old Dal and let him know the boys at What's On My Mind podcast sent you, and you'll get a complimentary cold one or shot of whiskey. Hanley's Good Time and Barbershop, where good times meet good vibes.
Hey, this is Rob T.
Hey, this Big Will.
The week is almost through,
And there's a lot we start through.
and we just want to share it with you. Some of it may be motivational,
Some inspirational.
but it will always be sensational. So sit back
And relax.
and check out What's on My Mind. Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's happening, y'all?
Did y'all miss us last week?
I bet they did.
We are back. What's up, everybody? This is Rob T.
It's Big Will.
And there's Melissa.
And you're listening to What's on My Mind. And we are very happy to be here with you this week. We are in the month of February, y'all.
Yeah.
The month of love.
Uh-oh.
So we gonna get right into it. We decided what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about love, but I want to talk more about relationships, and in this case, we're talking marriage, okay, or long-term relationships. Maybe there's some of you out there that aren't married, but you're in a long-term relationship. This applies too. This applies too. So we have very special guests with us now. Check this out, though. Not only are they special because they're friends, and I've known them for years, but they're special because one of these beautiful guests has been listening to this show since day one, and is probably like the first one to actually download an episode. I don't know, but
Wouldn't doubt it.
yeah. But I want to introduce Lucas and Gracie Molina. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Hello.
Is that mic too
Thank
high
you.
for you?
No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
I'll just. I have bad posture. I didn't have money for a back brace when I was little.
I just noticed that looked kind of funny. Anyway, I've known Lucas. Oh my Lord, Lucas, how old were you when I first met you? Oh, he's fixing your mic. You can't answer, can you? There we go. That's
perfect.
better.
Thank you.
How old were you when I first met you, man?
Well, are we talking about Rob T. In God We Trust?
Yeah.
Or are we talking about Rob T. Probably 13.
Yeah, I think you were like 13 years
So
old.
25 years ago.
Yeah, you were playing in a church. You
Yeah.
were playing bass, and I remember that's the first time I met you. And a few years later, I ended up moving into the same neighborhood you lived in.
Yeah, you lived
and-
right behind us.
Yeah, so we've known
What?
each other for a long time. Yeah, we've known each other a long time.
So who should I apologize to? Lucas, or should I apologize to you?
You should probably apologize to Lucas. Quite honestly.
Is his musical endeavors because of you?
No, he's been into music from the beginning. Like I said, he was playing bass when I met him. Was that the only instrument you played? You played in band too. I know that.
Yeah, I was in band.
Yeah, and then you did mariachi too.
Mariachi.
Right?
And then I played
That's
bass,
good.
guitar.
Yeah. So what are all the instruments that you can play?
Right now, just bass and guitar.
Bass and guitar. Okay.
Yeah.
No kazoo. No. Nothing.
No, my daughter wants to learn how to play drums, so I'm trying to teach myself drums so I can teach her to play drums.
Nice.
Well, if you could find a drummer that would teach her, that would be ideal
Yeah.
too.
Huh, I wonder if
Yeah.
we know what drummer we
He's like, yeah. While he looks at me, yeah.
Hey, Rob, do you know a drummer?
I might. But I might. He's not all that good, but anyway, yeah. Me and Lucas go way back, and then of course Gracie. We met. How many years has it been?
About 18
Yeah.
years. I think 2003.
So can you believe
That's
I've
when
known
we
him
met.
longer?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
We were in God Mob.
Yes.
together.
Oh my God, that was so long ago.
With,
No, it was Saved by Grace first.
Saved by Grace.
Yes.
Yeah, Saved by
Yeah. That was, oh my
Saved
God,
by
that was
Grace
a long time ago,
So
bro.
was that a spin-off of Saved by the Bell?
No, it was. So, okay.
I'm saved by grace.
So I'm going to tell the quick story. Okay. It was, me and Lucas, and then we had a friend of ours named Patrick. He was the drummer. And then we had a friend of ours named, I'm not kidding when I say this, his name was Matter James. Not Matter James, it was Matt or James. He told everybody that was his name. Am I right?
Yeah.
And that's what we would call him. Hey, Matter James. And he was the guitar player.
That dude was crazy.
And he was crazy. Crazy for Jesus. I mean, this dude
with
was...
a name like that. I mean, come on. Come on now.
So anyway, that was just kind of done on a whim. That was back in the day when the whole rap and rock thing was coming together. We were pioneers, Lucas.
Yeah, we were.
We were pioneers.
So everybody has you to thank. Or blame.
They have Saved by Grace to thank.
That was a fun time.
But yeah,
Wow.
we did like, I think, didn't we do Jesus Freak, right?
Yeah, we did Jesus
Freak. And
I don't know where I got the bass from, but it was one that doesn't have the
knobs on the top to tune it, yeah. Yeah. And we did like, was it one gig in
Pleasanton?
In Pleasanton.
We got paid in food.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
And got sent home, and that was
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah. So yeah, we go pretty far back. But I brought you guys on the show today. Well, number one, because you're our very first What's on My Mind fan, listener, whatever you want to call it, and we really appreciate you.
I'm glad to
listening.
be here. It's been
It's she's I was like, why are you shaking your head? Anyway, and so of course, on this topic of couples, and what I really want to talk about today, what I kind of want to talk about is dealing with obstacles or challenges in relationships. Okay. Because that is definitely something I think we can all agree on, whether the challenges are big or whether they're small, but especially the ones that are big. And I kind of want to touch a little bit on that today. But before we do that, I want to hear a little bit about, I mean, I know, but our listeners don't know. I know, exactly.
There you go.
I want to hear a little bit about how you guys met, how this beautiful love story came to be. That's what I want to hear.
well. Do you want me to tell it?
Sure, you can
'Cause
tell
I
it.
remember. I remember all the details. So it all began.
In a small
He
town.
probably remembers the day of the week, the time.
Like I said, well, God works in mysterious ways, or wonderful ways, I guess, because I knew Rob since I was 13 years old, and then we played together, a few times after that, in different bands and churches, and it was after graduation that I saw him at graduation. And I graduated high school, and I was like, "Hey, Rob, you remember me?" He's like, "Yeah, I remember you." So then we started, messing with Judge Knott. But then it was 2003. I think you had called me like in January.
Yeah.
And you said, "Do you want to jam out? We're doing this new thing. We're going to be doing. We just need an acoustic guitar player." So I said, "Yeah, I'll join up." And then so we had a practice. He said, "Lucas, we're going to have a practice." I said, "Okay." I don't have a guitar, so they had a guitar for me. We're gonna go practice at this church in New Braunfels, and I was like, "Okay, cool." And then when I get there, you're like, "Oh yeah, this is a gig." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I haven't practiced any songs." Like, "I'll just pretend like you're playing something up there. They can't hear you anyway." I said, "Okay."
Man, I was a jerk.
So
and then after I finished setting up the drums and the guitar and the keyboard.
That's what we call
You're a
initiation. That's an initiation.
that's
No,
right.
but-
That's
but-
right. Trial by fire.
But he had said, "There's this girl that I'm kind of teaching the keyboard. Her name's Gracie." I said, "Oh yeah, yeah."
I was teaching the keyboard.
Yeah.
You
wasn't
did.
I?
Mhm.
Wow.
I think 2 lessons.
2 lessons.
Yeah, I'm old.
And so and he said, "There's this girl Gracie. She's the Hispanic girl. She's real pretty. This and that, this and that." I said, "Oh yeah, okay."
Let's be real. I was trying to hook my brother up.
Right?
And me, I was 20 years old. I was just
And shy as hell.
yeah, and I didn't.
Lucas was shy?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
When it came to girls, Lucas was very
Lucas
shy.
was shy.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So then we have that gig / practice, and that's the first time I saw Gracie. It was February 22nd, 2003. I remember.
Wow.
It was a
What time,
Saturday.
please?
Passed the
It was
test.
probably like 11 o'clock in the morning. Dang. Yeah, because we rolled in.
Yeah.
And I always tell my friends this. I said, I was a big fan of a group called Rilo Kiley. And they were in Austin that day. And I was like, that was the day that I chose to meet Gracie.
Instead of going
instead
to
of going to, my last, it would have been my last secular concert.
Wow.
But I would just, I was like, nope, you're
That's
not going
right.
to go
Weren't
there.
you like you had decided you wanted to serve God? Like you were kind of
Yeah,
back and forth.
I was
right?
back and forth.
Yeah,
And when
yeah.
you made that call, it was just when everything just started coming back to where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And then we met, and now you.
Well, for me, it was like as soon as the first time I saw him, it was like love at first sight. I tell him that. I just knew there was something about him, and it was God. I mean, it was like
That's awesome.
I just knew.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, and I remember talking to my cousin about it, Priscilla. I was like, I was like, there's something about him and stuff, and she was like, oh, I know him in school. Lucas, he's weird. Like he's kind of weird,
And I went to school with all of her cousins from
Wow.
elementary all the way through high school. And I didn't even know.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So they
crazy.
And then we just started doing more and more ministry work, and started playing with Judge Knott.
And her dad
her dad
was the
manager at
the
the time.
manager of Freedom Outreach Ministries.
Yeah.
And so we did a lot of stuff together back then.
Yeah, every
So,
weekend.
Yeah,
a
every
lot.
weekend.
The first Jesus Jam Fest. And
Yes, 7 Day Slumber.
7 Day
performed.
Slumber was there, and-
That was amazing.
Yeah,
and yeah, man, you guys had a lot of time to get to know each other and talk to each other and everything else. So that was awesome.
So, like, after that, her aunt had a baby, and so she went up to Dallas to take care of her to help with the family. And that was when it was over the phone. That's when you still I had a landline, but I didn't have a calling card. But somehow we would because you had calling cards back then, kids.
Right. Like, what's a calling card?
And then for about a month or two, that we just would talk every night on the phone, and we really got to know each other. And there was no we didn't see each other. We just
Right.
talked to each other.
we just
and
talked and got to know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
long conversations, and that I think that's probably the best thing that could have happened.
That's awesome.
You
Did
know.
you do the old school, Mexican thing? Go to the dad and ask for her hand in marriage?
Yeah, I actually asked her dad if I could start talking to her.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
you even went that far. Okay.
That's real old school.
And then I said, after a couple of years, it's like I'd like to ask your daughter to be my girlfriend.
Right.
And he's like, well, yeah, because and I didn't do it because it was like, oh, this is, it just felt right. And
Right.
I just felt like I owed him in that respect.
Right.
Because, I wanted to take on his daughter as my wife.
Right.
And he said, yeah, I think it's, it's about time y'all can start courting or dating. And we were already older. I was probably 21, 22. And then, and I would still ask permission. Is it okay can we go to the movies? Or can we go here? Or can we go to dinner and this and that? It was
Yeah.
a respect
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
And I would want the same thing from my daughters,
Of course.
But yeah, and then I asked her dad if I could have her hand in marriage, and he's like, "There's nothing more I'd
Yeah.
want that than for that to happen." And
Yeah. Well, you
and-
became real close with her dad, too.
yeah, I mean, we were spending. Then I started working for him, and we were in ministry every weekend.
Well, they actually thought you were
yeah, they thought I
the
was
son.
Yeah,
And
Oh,
I was
wow.
the outside.
Oh, dang.
Yes, that's how close
So
they
that's
were.
how close we were.
That must have been
Yeah.
interesting when you guys are
Yes.
dating.
This is my
This is-
daughter,
yeah.
and I thought
Yeah.
he was your son. Oh no, no.
We're in
She's
love.
sitting over there like, no, no. That's funny.
So yeah, that was. I mean,
And you got married when?
September 3rd, 2006. It was a
Wow.
Sunday.
Aw.
It was a beautiful wedding, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It was.
Thank you.
It was a lot of fun. It was.
Yeah, I do gotta say this one little thing. Back when they first started getting serious, I ain't gonna lie. I'm putting it out on the table now. I was upset for a while.
He was
I
Why?
jealous.
I was.
No.
Why?
Because I lost my
Did I
best friend.
take him away?
Yeah, I lost my
Oh.
best friend because Lucas was my road dog, dude. Like he was
Yeah.
my buddy.
We were tight.
Like we were really
Oh,
close.
sorry.
See it,
No,
girl.
no. I mean,
No.
looking back on it now, I'm glad. I mean, you're the best thing that's happened to him.
Oh.
Straight up, straight up. Yeah, no, straight up.
A lot of
Yeah.
awes going on here tonight.
There's gonna be a lot of those today. I have a feeling.
Yes.
But if I'm being real though, there was a time I was like, I hate her.
Oh my goodness.
No, it was more because
I'm the only one.
I think it was because
Loves me.
Rob couldn't come over to my house and watch Monday Night Raw anymore.
Yeah, couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. So yeah, but no, it was awesome. And I'll never forget your wedding. It was awesome. It was a beautiful wedding. And now you have 3 beautiful children.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was telling you before we got on the air, it still trips me out that you're a dad. So, but let's talk. You guys have been married now how long?
14 years.
14 years. One more than us.
Yep. It'll be 15 in September.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So during that time, what would you say was the biggest challenge that you guys faced?
I think for me, probably the adjustment with the family closeness is probably the hardest thing because I grew up super close to my family. Like
Right.
we would spend weekends together. I mean, it
Right.
was just always around family.
Right.
So I think it was a little different for Lucas, and at the beginning, that was really hard for us to adjust to. More so him, like.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, didn't we just see your parents yesterday?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that is what I was lacking in my life.
Right.
And then I finally realized, this is what you need. This is what it, should be like, and you should accept it. And I do now, and I did, but.
Because that's something you and I had in common was that our upbringings were a little similar. We had, I guess you would say, dysfunctional family for sure, which is probably why we connected so well.
I think so. I
honestly.
think we shared a lot.
Yeah. So wow, that's a whole different dynamic, and I got to tell you, I know exactly what you're talking about because I'm dealing with that now, in with my marriage with Melissa. She's got a very close knit family, and they could see each other every weekend, like yours, and they wouldn't get tired of it.
Yeah,
Right.
That's how we grew up.
Right, yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
given. Every Sunday we were going to grandma's.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even going out, like if we would plan something, it was like, well, yeah, my family's coming, like we're inviting
Yeah.
them, and so he was like, no, like it's just us,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, no, so it was hard for me to adjust to that too, and but now, I've gotten better, where there's times where I won't mention my family coming along, and then he's like, well, what about your parents, or what about, and I'm
Right.
like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a compromise. We've learned to work with that.
I totally
situation.
get that. Being married 13 years with her, I love my family to death. Don't get me wrong. I love my family to death because I
Gotta put that in there real quick.
I gotta put that in there because they may be listening. You guys know I love y'all, but there have been times when I'm like, man, I'd rather spend the time with her family than mine sometimes. You know what I mean? Because
My family's hilarious.
because we all have our baggage, we all have the things that we deal with, and I love my family to death, but we don't handle things that well sometimes, and pain comes back up, and next thing you know, this brother's
Fights.
mad at this brother, and this brother's not talking to this brother, and mad at dad for this or something he did 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Whereas when I go over there with her family, no family's perfect, but at least they're happy. You know what I mean? Not that
Or they fight and they get over it.
Yeah,
like they
exactly.
talk it out,
So
Yeah.
so I can totally understand that. Would you agree that that was a big challenge, or was it something different for you?
No, I think that was a challenge. I think another thing is maybe her expectations. Not I mean everybody has not you said it someone a line for someone to jump over or hoops to jump through, but I just knew that I had big shoes to fill when it came to taking her away from her dad.
Oh,
And I felt like I had to, not for her sake, but for my sake.
Right.
I felt like, man, I've got to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this because, again, I want the man that my daughters, choose to be the same way. And I was a kid. I was 20 years old when I met Gracie. I was a kid, like literally.
Yeah.
And and I think having him to kind of show me, this is what I expect. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things that you should yearn for. And I think that's what it started off was. I'm just trying to make sure that I make her happy, and that's.
So was love, and I'm asking specifically you this question, not you, but you, because our upbringing was kind of the same. Was love what you really thought it was, or did it end up being something totally different?
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
like I didn't, and I thought I had puppy love,
Right. Right.
but then when you experience the real love from the woman you're going to spend the rest of your life with, it's just something you can't
it's
explain.
real.
It's unconditional. It's just
Yes.
it's going to be no matter what. I'm going to love you. Unless you do something ridiculous, but
I mean,
But
it's
even
not always
then-
fun. It's not always easy. Real love,
Yeah.
real marital love it's work.
Right.
Yeah.
Love. I know. I'm sorry. Little Jody Whiteley for y'all. You said something earlier that was kind of really reminded me of something. So for those of y'all that don't know, and I'm sure y'all do though, I was married previously, right? In that marriage, you're shocked. You knew my ex-wife. It was like,
Robert.
Lucas is like, I know.
No,
I think we all know your ex-wife.
Oh
But,
my God.
But one of the things that I really that still sticks out in my head to this day was in my first relationship. If you asked me the question, what would you choose? Would you choose your ministry, your music, or your wife? Right? And my answer back then would have been, "I'll do my ministry."
Yeah.
Because that's what God gave me, right? And I thought I was right, and I wasn't, and I didn't get it. Like you said, you know what love was. I thought I did, even in my first marriage, but I learned that I didn't, because when I got with Melissa, I remember when it dawned on me how that I was in love, like real love, because I had the thought in my head, if I had to choose between ever playing music again, ever in my life, which y'all know that's a big part of who I am, right? Or being with her. If I had to choose between the two, which one would I choose? And it didn't even take me long to think about it. It was just automatic. I would choose.
Yeah.
I would choose her like that.
And that's the thing that you've got to get. You've got to get that. I guess that ladder, or however you would say it, it's got to be God. And then it's always been for me. It's been God, and then my family, ministry, and then work.
Right.
So that's when it gets like, well, no, I'm going to go choose music. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
That's not honoring your wife, and that's not honoring God.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
and
would you
You
agree?
can't have. Oh.
No, I was just gonna say, because you said something that's so true. How you said it, God first, family, and so on. But wouldn't you agree? And I'm asking you this because you have children. I don't. But wouldn't you agree that it's God, your wife, then like your family, your children, and then whatever ministry God has for you?
Yeah, I would definitely say
right,
it's God,
yes.
and then my wife.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people
I
out
was
there.
raised differently. I was raised God, relationship, the ministry, then family.
Yeah, and it's not like that.
That's how I was raised. I mean,
that's
I don't do it
And
that
then
way
there's some,
now.
and then there's some people that think it's God, your
And then
children, and
Yeah,
then
I know that.
your
I
spouse.
met people like that, yeah.
And it's not like that either. It really isn't, because if the foundation between husband and wife is strong and centered in God, that's what you want your kids to see.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what you want them to model their lives after. That you're going to put your wife before them. Well, Daddy, I want to do this. Well, I promised your mom that today we're going to go out to dinner. So you're going to go spend the evening with grandma and grandpa, or whatever the case may be. That's showing them, oh, wow. They don't see it now, right? Because they're kids, but eventually
But
they're
they
going to
do.
remember. They're
Right.
going to
You know,
remember.
they may not
Right.
understand it now, but they'll remember that.
Right,
That's
they remember.
setting an example even that young, and
Yeah.
that's what they're going to seek out.
And like you said, if you do, for those that that do put their children first, then that relationship, you're focusing that on your child when that should be focused on your husband or your wife, and that can create jealousy, envy, resentment,
Definitely.
and then before you know it, well, you don't pay attention to me, you pay attention to them more, you take care of them more than you do me, and
Right.
before you know it, it's another broken family.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
Right.
So it's really important to me that you prioritize. My wife's going to come before anything.
There you go.
Before
Yeah.
well, of course not before God, because then He would take her away from me, and then I'd have to refocus on
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
But before church, work, my family, my kids, anything,
Right.
she comes first. And I've told my kids, you know how kids are. I mean, of course, it was different growing up because I knew better. But let's just say the kids say something disrespectful to my wife. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, first off, that's my wife. I said, I know she's your mom, but she was my wife first.
Right.
I said, you're lucky you're my kid, and we're not on the streets.
I like that.
I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know
Well,
that
this is going to be something.
that's my wife.
Yeah.
Above all, I die for her.
Yeah.
I would do anything I could just to make sure that I don't put my wife on a pedestal by any means.
Right.
But I feel that I need to honor her. I need to let her know that she's loved and
Right.
and needed and wanted, and I think that's missing a lot from today because
Oh, yeah.
and I don't want to say this but we fell in love. We didn't fall in lust, or I guess you could say.
Right.
Like I said, when we first got to know each other, there was no physical contact. There was no physicality at all. It was just all mental, and we just got to talk to each other and really know each other. And
So y'all were like Sheldon and Amy from Big Bang Theory.
I guess I don't know, but
You don't watch that show?
and I think
I
that's
don't watch
and I think that's the way it
Coitus is off the table.
I think that's how it was meant to be. It had to be that way because, you put temptation there,
Yeah.
and then that leads to one thing to the next, and we got to really know each other.
Right.
So
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm sure you feel the same.
I feel the same.
I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. I'll let her talk.
No, you're fine.
So wholesome.
No.
I love it.
So, Grace, let me ask you this question. I'm sure there's tons of people right now that are listening, right? A lot of people are listening, and I'm sure they're thinking this, like what we're thinking. This is an awesome, beautiful story. But let's be real. There's probably some people out there thinking right now, y'all are so full of it. y'all are just saying this because y'all are on a podcast and you're trying to give off the best impressions. Come on, level with me. Is this real?
No, I mean
She said no.
Right.
I have a story about no here in a second.
We're not perfect for
Right,
sure,
right.
for sure. But I do appreciate that Lucas has those values, and I mean from the get go, he's just I know it sounds too good to be true, but it really is. I mean, I think we work very well together. We communicate, we put the work in. If we have an issue, we talk it out, then that's the important thing.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, like I said, we're not perfect, but we work
Yeah.
at it. Like Melissa said, it's work.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very blessed with him, for
and
sure.
Go ahead.
I was just I think you can see it and hear it too when it's not real.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can. And I mean, you can see it just in how y'all look at each other, the way y'all talk, like, yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
we see fake every day. You
Yeah.
know, it's easy to pick out, really.
Yeah.
So
For sure. What were you about to say, Lucas?
I don't remember.
sorry.
No, that's cool. That's
I want to
cool.
hear this no story though. That's all I got
Okay,
to say.
so
The no story.
me, I used to be. Right? I'm a little older now. I used to be a very mathematical person, right? And so
Yeah,
I
you
finally
were.
asked her dad, "Can I?" I'm gonna tell two stories. So I finally asked her dad. We went Christmas shopping, or two guys shopping like a week before Christmas, whatever.
Okay.
So we're shopping, and I've got her ring in my pocket. Okay,
Aw.
and
Wow.
I didn't make much money back then, but I remember I ate ramen and drank water for like a month because
Wow.
I went and got a ring. I put it on layaway, and I was like, oh, I've got X amount of dollars ready to spend, and I went and got her ring, and so I held on to her about a month, and I finally, me and her dad were shopping for Christmas, and then we went and we had dinner, and I had the ring in my pocket, and I took the ring out, and he's like, "What's that?" I said, I want to ask you if I can have Gracie's hand in marriage, and that's when he said, "Of course, there's nothing else I want."
Right.
And he's like, "When are you going to ask her?" I said, "I'm thinking about tomorrow." I said, "Well, where are we going?" I said,
That's the thing I'm talking about, the family closeness. My dad's invited. My dad's like, where are we going?
I said, "Well, we're going to go to Olive Garden." So we'll all be there, and she won't suspect a thing. So, but I loved it. It just shows how invested they are in her, and then that trickled down to me.
Wait, so you're saying your future in-laws were there when you proposed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just hear what she said?
Yeah.
They did everything together.
So where are we going for the honeymoon?
That's what I'm saying.
And so on that night, I said, "Okay, Gracie," and our song is "I Want to Grow Old with You" by Adam Sandler.
Oh, wow.
So I had that.
Let's not.
We had an MP3 player. MP3 player is like the old school version of iPod, which is the old school version of streaming.
Yeah.
So I had that on a little MP3 player and went to Olive Garden, and I said, it was like people
Yeah,
were talking,
yeah,
and
of
as soon
course.
as I got down on my knee, it got like dead quiet.
Right.
And I said, "Gracie, I've known you for, I don't remember, it was like so many years, days, hours, weeks or whatever." And I
Wow.
listed them all down. And I said, "I want to know if you'll marry me." And her initial reaction was, "No."
I was just so shocked. He always tells me, "You said no," and I'm like, "No." I was shocked. I'm like,
so I
"No."
put the ring back in my pocket. But that's just a story I like to tell the kids. So
That's
her
hilarious.
initial reaction was no, but
Oh my god.
Dude, that's awesome. That's like something out of a movie. Let me tell you what happened when I asked my father-in-law for my wife's hand in marriage. Okay, let me tell you how that went. I was nervous, right? Nervous as all get out. And I had worked up the courage. That weekend we were in Victoria. The church we were going to at the time, there was a conference going on in Victoria at the same time. And I had made up my mind that I was going to go and talk to him and ask him, "Hey, I want to ask your daughter to marry me. Is Are you cool with that, right? And Melissa knew about it because I talked to her about it, right? Now, I can go into a long tirade about upbringing, this and that. Her dad's white, how I feel about, white guy. I could go on, but I'm not going to go there, right? So I already have a sense of, because I'm still getting to know this man, I already have a sense of, let's be honest, respect and fear at this point. And so I get up enough courage, and then I finally say it in their living room. And I just said, I want to ask if I can marry Melissa. And he looks at me, he goes, yeah, sure. And I was like, that's it. That's it. And then he looks at me with a very straight face and smiles and goes, I'm not the one you got to worry about. And I was like, crap. So here comes the nervousness again, right? So then we end up hanging out outside. Her mom comes home from work, right? I'm already nervous again because now I got to ask the mom, right?
Wait. So let me get this straight. You had to ask both?
Yes.
I thought it was just one.
It was really like my dad, but the thing is, my dad didn't care. My mom did care.
She did care.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm nervous again. Like I said, right? Her mom gets home. Her mom gets home from work, meets me out back. I'm already nervous as it is, right? As soon as she walks outside, my father-in-law, or wasn't my father-in-law at the time, right? But he just goes, wait, let me go get the camera. And I was like, what are you doing to me right now?
He's just sitting there laughing the whole time.
He's just sitting there laughing the whole time. So finally I go to ask her, and I didn't even get to ask her. I just go, I wanted to ask you a question. And as soon as I said that, she goes, y'all are getting married. I was like, yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's how mine went. But it was still
and
cool.
just like the most drama, like, I'm the only child, so
yeah. So that was the whole thing. But anyway, we're gonna take a quick little break, and then we're gonna come back. And when we come back, I want to get a little bit deeper,
personal,
little bit more personal, a little bit more deeper when we get back. All right. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Brake shoes, brake pads, drums, rollers, brake fluid, brake clean. Brake hardware, a flush, and a shop fee. Oh, I wish there was a place I could take my car to that didn't cost me an arm and a leg.
Well, now there is. Welcome to GA Automotive and Tire, where you can get a brake job for only $199 on most vehicles. That's a complete brake job with brake pads and rotors resurfaced. Located at 4431 Luxinger Lane, Austin, Texas, 78745. For service and prices so good that you'd recommend your family, simply call GA Automotive and Tire. Just dial 512-444-7005. That's 512-444-7005. GA Automotive and Tire. Starting a business can be very challenging. Man, starting anything can be challenging, even a podcast. When we started our podcast, we had a lot of hurdles we had to go through. But I tell you what, Will and I are so thankful to have an awesome team of people helping us along the way. And one of those people, well, actually one of part of the team, is Blue Orchid Design Company. They helped us out with an awesome logo, and you guys have seen it every week when you listen to our podcast. They do web design, graphic design, esports logos, business logo creation, product mock-ups, and business consultation. You got to contact them today. For more information, go to goorchid.com. You can also find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Blue Orchid Design Company. This is the team that Big Will and Rob T trust. Give them a call today. Are you looking for your own custom shirt design? Maybe you have an idea for an awesome cap that no one else has, and maybe you think you just don't have enough money to get it to happen? Well, look no further. Call CJ Design. That's right, we're talking custom shirts, caps, stickers, and decals. High quality at the low price guarantee. Maybe you have a youth group, church function, family reunions, work events. Doesn't matter. Call CJ Design for your own specific high quality design merchandise. Call or text at 737-202-8331. That's 737-202-8331. CJ Design, and make sure you ask for Juan.
And we are back. Before we continue on with this next segment, just want to give a big shout out to our sponsor for this segment. That is Silver Spoon Dinner Theater. They're located at 6700 North Interstate 35, New Braunfels, Texas 78130. For more information, go to silverspoon.com, SYLVER spoon.com. You can also give them a call at 210-865-3711. That's silverspoon.com. Now listen, we are not that far away at all from Valentine's Day, so you guys need to go and check them out, because I guarantee you they are running some specials for Valentine's Day, and this is the place to go to have a great Valentine's Day dinner. Right now they're advertising a Valentine's cookie decorating event as well. So and I think this is actually going to be going on. Oh, it doesn't say here, but anyway, just give them a call. They'll give you all the deets on everything. And telling you, Lucas and Gracie, if y'all haven't gone, y'all need to go.
Yep.
You like steak?
Yes.
Best steak.
Is this going to be? Oh, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to talk?
No, you're good.
Is this going to be a sponsor, a dinner sponsored by What's on My Mind?
No. Anyway, Silver Spoon Dinner Theater. You guys make sure to go check them out. When you go, let them know that the boys and girl from What's on My Mind sent you over there, and you guys just have a good time. All right, that's Silver Spoon Dinner Theater. So we are back here with Lucas and with Gracie having a great conversation. And so what we're going to talk about now is I kind of want to get a little bit on, because you're also parents. You've got 3 beautiful children. How long were you guys married before the first one came along?
9 months and 12 days.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, you're good at the dates, dude.
He is good at the
Man,
date. Yeah.
wow.
Father's Day 2006. We got married in September 2006, and my dad said on Father's Day 2006, next year you'll be celebrating your first Father's Day.
Oh, wow.
You're getting married, and I was like, no, there's no way. No, I was like, then no, and then Eliana was born on the Friday before
Wow.
Father's Day.
So he called it.
Yeah, he
and so
called
we
it.
got married, and then the Lord blessed us.
We
with the first
had it
child.
all planned out. We were going to get married. We were going to travel the world for a year. It's
Yeah.
just going to be us. And
That didn't
God had
happen.
other
No
plans.
plans.
Who are these plans?
Yeah, but then Lucas got too excited, right? That's what it was.
You should have seen everybody's face when we told everybody.
Yeah.
Because it was
Yeah.
kind of, it was a shock.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was it a shot?
They started counting back.
Yeah, my dad's like, what?
Wait, how many months is this?
He's not counting with like a hammer in his hand.
It was more Frank than I was. Or, sorry, can I say names? His
Yeah,
brother
you're
than I
fine.
was.
You're fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. You can say Frank. I haven't seen Frank in a long time. How's he doing? Is he good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
good.
good.
Awesome. What's up, Frank? If you're listening, haven't seen you forever, man.
But yeah, right. Like I said, 9 months and 12 days after we got married.
Wow.
We
Wow.
had our baby.
So now, what was
Mm-hmm.
now that first pregnancy? What was that like? Was that challenging?
No.
No?
No, it was, I loved it.
Really?
I really did. I loved it.
You feeling
and
okay?
Hey, some people just have that.
Did you touch this?
Some people just have those, like, I guess you could say easy pregnancies where you don't really have that much sickness
Right.
or discomfort. And then sometimes, like, the second one's like,
Exactly.
boom, boom.
Yes, Eliana set me up, because then it was like after that. And then that's when.
That's when. So which one was the challenging one?
I would probably say John Elijah, my last one.
The last one.
Little boy.
And he weighed
Because the girls were 6'9" and he was
13.
13.
Almost 9 pounds.
So,
Oh, wow.
And
Yes.
my wife is 4'11".
Yeah.
So
So
Wow.
yeah, he was weighing. I mean, his like my everything hurt, my
Wow.
bones, everything. So yeah, he was the
Dang.
challenging
Is that
one.
what you were talking about? The big head?
yeah.
Oh, leave him alone. No, he doesn't.
I will say this though, because your dad is a barber, they be looking sharp.
Yeah. That's the one thing that we agree that he's gonna have nice hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because
that-
mine was always an afro.
Yeah.
I guess I was rebelling. I don't know.
and that he does. He has this very nice hair.
Nice hair.
Nice hair. So what are the ages of your kids?
Well, 13.
13.
We have a 13-year-old, and then Gabriella is 10, and John Elijah will be 8 on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
Oh, he was born on Valentine's
He
Day.
was.
Wow.
So for the past 8 years, for our Valentine's dinner, we've had hot dogs, nachos. So sandwiches.
Right.
So
pizza.
romantic.
Valentine's Day is about the baby.
Yeah.
That's wow, that's funny. And so 3 kids. Now you said your son was the most challenging for you, right? So here's my question, and I'm just asking because Melissa and I have been married 13 years, and we don't have kids. Our kids are, you met them, they're our dogs. You know, so it's definitely not the same thing. So we got all kinds of couples I know that are listening and everything. Now, here's what I find funny. Years before I got married, right, you'd hear stories about marriage, and you always hear the jokes about marriage and this and that. And so I always thought that when you got married, intimacy went down because you had kids. And it wasn't until I got married that I realized that's not always the case. So how do you deal with that challenge? I'm not just talking the obvious sex, of course, but I'm talking in general when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to really spending that alone time where you can actually just talk and get into each other's feelings and stuff, you know, like before you had kids, right? That's the one thing that I do. Like when Melissa and I have real intimate time where there's times we just sit in the room, we're supposed to be going to sleep, and one of us will say something that'll spark a conversation. And next thing you know, we're just talking, you know? But I would think having kids makes that a lot more challenging.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like just big shout out to my mother-in-law, Mary Jane. Because she does take the kids and she watches all 3 of them at one time.
Oh, wow.
But you know, it is tough, and I'll just be honest. You know, last week was kind of like it was just a tough week. I don't know if it was work or just everything going on. And I've always been, since I was little, because that's the way I was raised. Is you just take your feelings and you shove them down, and you don't express them. You just eat them. You know, you just let them. You just let them rot inside of you.
Right.
And so, you know. And that was just one of those weeks, and Gracie said, you know, we need to, you know, go hang out, and you know, like I said, marriage is perfect, but you know, we need that communication, and you know, we got to reconnect and talk and just chill out and just, you know, hang out and really talk to each other, not have to worry about the kids over our shoulder trying to listen to what we're saying, and you know, and it's just we just like to laugh. I mean, I think that's what brings us together is I'm the goofy one, and if I can make her laugh, then it's worth it, you know. And I think that's what that was lacking. Like I said, I don't know if it was work or just everything going on in the world, and you know. But
it's easy to get into a routine.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that's just my opinion, of course, but I think in marriage, that's probably the biggest enemy of marriage is a routine where life just gets to be that monotonous just cycle every single day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And after a while, man, it can definitely take a toll on you. I think especially right now with this whole COVID bull crap we're going through, you know, it just kind of makes things kind of worse, you know, because like you said it, you hit the nail on the head, Lucas, with everything that's going on in the world. Come on, man. It's affecting all of us in different ways. It does weigh on you, you know, after a while. So I think it would be safe to say that she's your best friend. Like, like really. Yeah. Like, I know it sounds cliche. Oh, my wife's my best friend or my husband's my best friend. But, you know, this is one of those cases where I think it's true. I mean, from what I'm seeing, it's definitely true.
And like you said, we're not trying to put up a front, or this isn't like Facebook or Instagram post your best, whatever.
Right.
You know, it's just when you have it, then you live it.
Right.
If it's actually there, then you live it. And you know, sometimes we're goofy together, and sometimes we're cheesy together.
Yeah.
But there's a time where it becomes serious, and you know, like I said, we gotta recognize it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't squash it, then it's gonna lead to this, and then this leads to that, and then this leads to more and more down the line.
Very true.
So, but I just, you know, like I said, I think we just complement each other, and being able to not be prideful about it, and being able to recognize that there's an issue.
Yeah.
For sure.
Be able to pick up on that.
For sure.
Because because like he was saying last week was tough because, I mean, I have the kids at home remote learning. So I have the 3 kids plus my niece. So
That's tough.
That's me, you know, all day with the kids.
Right.
Plus I do some work for my mom. And then he comes home and then it's dinner, you know, and then we watch some TV with the kids. Then it's time for bed, but they don't go to bed right away. You know, they're up talking. And so we're just trying to get some like quiet Yeah, we're trying to get some kind of quality time.
Right.
And then I noticed, we weren't able to really get a sitter. It's not that easy either, and and I noticed it was kind of getting tough. And so I thought, you know what? Just because we don't have a sitter doesn't mean we can't do something fun. So I actually had ordered like this air mattress thing that goes in my van, and I thought I'm gonna put it in the van.
What?
And
Speaking of
right. No, but I was like, I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna surprise him when he gets home. I'm gonna have it set up in the van. I'm gonna have the laptop. We can watch a movie, eat popcorn, and just have that quality time, even though we can't go anywhere.
That's not what he was thinking.
I know.
How are we gonna drive from back here?
So
That's awesome. Here it's funny you're talking about how last week was kind of challenging for you. These past few days have been really challenging for us because it felt like we got hit one blow after the other. Melissa's family right now is really taking some hits. I don't want to be the one to say anything about it because that's her family, but all I'm going to say is that it was very challenging. We got some bad news. And just to have to deal with that. And, but it was crazy because we did learn something from this, right? Because she said something that was very key when she came home. She was in Victoria with her family and she got back Sunday night. And when she came back, went upstairs and we just started talking. And she started saying how when she drove home, it was really kind of like therapeutic for her. It was really relaxing for her because she got to listen to her music. And then that's when I realized, again, that in our marriage, in our 13 years of being married, nobody ever said this. It wasn't like I started off the marriage and I said it's going to be what I want and that's it, or vice versa. Nothing like that was ever said. It was just kind of this happened automatically. Whereas when we get in the car, we listen to what I want to listen to, right? Because I'm driving. If we're watching TV together, we're going to watch what I want to watch.
Because he wants to watch wrestling.
Because I want to watch wrestling or whatever the case may be. And it wasn't that it was ever said that. That's just kind of how it naturally happened. So I don't know. It just kind of clicked something in my head when she said that, and I couldn't believe what I was saying when I said it. But I did mean it, and I told her, I go, you know what? Maybe we need to do it to where one day a month you get out of here, or I get out of here, or so we just kind of go our separate ways for a day. Because the one thing about my wife is that she's an introvert. She's an only child. She has no siblings. So she grew up, and her having time by herself, that was awesome for her. Because she got lost in her books. She got lost in her imagination. And it was a great time for her, Me, I grew up with siblings. So I was never alone. And I don't like to be alone. That's just how I've always been. I really don't like to be alone. But when I do, every now and then when I do get alone, I do enjoy it sometimes. And it was interesting because even though I did miss her, when she was gone, I actually enjoyed it. I got a new guitar in this weekend. I was jamming on that downstairs. Y'all got to see his guitar. It's beautiful. That's for another day.
I saw it.
But I got to jam out on my guitar for a little bit. I got to go outside. I had a drink. I had to smoke a cigar by myself while listening to some country music, just enjoying the time. And I actually did enjoy it. Of course I missed her, but I had that time. So it was I just found it kind of interesting that it took that situation for us to realize something that was going to help us both in the long run. Because I'm with you, bro. She's my best friend. I can tell her anything, and I know she's not going to judge me, and I know she's always going to be there for me. Even when everybody else lets me down, I know she won't. She'll always be there no matter what, and that's a special thing to have for sure, sure. And definitely don't take it lightly at all. So having said that, now that you have the 3 kids, it's great that you do get to have some intimacy and that time together. But let me ask you this: is it as much time as you would like?
For him, probably no.
It's 7:00. Go to bed.
No, I don't. I mean, no, I don't think it's as much time as we would like, or.
And those are things, having children. Those are, I don't want to say sacrifices, but those are things that come along with it.
Right.
But you've also got to remember to make that time. Well, you know what?
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of laying here, I mean, I go to bed early. We go to bed about 9:30. Instead of sitting here just catching up on Facebook.
Not tonight.
Let's look at each other. Let's talk. And,
Yeah.
But it's just we got to make that time for just conversation.
Yeah.
Because it with no conversation, it's or communication rather.
Yeah.
Without communication, it's just gonna fall. It's gonna break.
For sure. I agree with you.
It becomes more fragile.
Communication is key.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, I gotta ask when y'all been married already going on 15 years. When you guys get mad, are you the couple that argues, or are you the couple that just kind of gets quiet and goes their separate ways?
I'm the one in the couple that wants to be left alone. I'm like, just leave me alone for a little bit.
Right.
Give me my space.
Right.
He's the one that's like, no, we need to talk about it now.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's just like us.
But I think.
And I'm like, no, you need to back off right now.
And
Give
it's
me
funny.
my space. Yeah.
Yeah, because all the marriage, like little seminars or messages it's always like, oh yeah, the woman's always like this and the man's always like that. And it's always opposite. But yeah, that's how we are too. They're always
I'm
saying,
the
oh, the
woman in
woman
the
wants to
relationship.
talk and the woman wants to push the man and the man wants to be left alone with his tools and,
That's
But-
not me at all.
yeah, he wants to talk, and I'm just like, you gotta leave me alone, dude. Like,
Yeah.
give me some time. We had to develop a language, like we really did, because
Dang, that's a good way to put it.
well, yeah, because
Love is a language.
Yeah.
yeah, and we had to learn because it messes with him when I'm not saying anything, but
Right.
then with me, if you're on me, and you don't leave me alone, I
Yeah.
I
It's not
snap,
good, right.
Yeah.
and we had to learn, like, okay, look, I'm not okay right now. Can you please give me some time to process, or, just we had to learn how to talk to each other and get through that, to communicate that
Yeah,
in a way that
because-
we could understand.
Because if she
Yeah.
didn't tell me anything, like she could have had a bad day at work, and to the point where it affected her mood. And if she didn't say anything to me, I automatically thought it was me. You like that too?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we
I think a
had
lot of
to.
people are that way.
So we had to, like she said, we had to come up with our own language, like she said. I finally was the one to be like, look, if you're bothered by something, or even if we just had a discussion and something I said pissed you off, tell me that you're upset right now, and we can talk about it later. That way I know, all right, good. We can we can revisit this later.
Or I'll even say, like, it's not something about you. I'm just, not cool right now.
Right.
Can we talk about it a little later?
Well, see, it's always about me. And that it wasn't, it was a long time like that, where it was like she would say, just leave me alone. I didn't understand that. My thing was, I've got to make this right, because God forbid something happened in the next 5 minutes, I can't live with myself. If something went wrong, I couldn't live with myself, and then that's where it stemmed from, is not having it settled before you said goodnight or right then and there, because you don't know what's going to happen in those 20 minutes that you're
Very
cooling
true,
off,
very true.
but I finally just
Very true. And for me, it was a lot of the same way. But the added thing for me was because since the beginning of our relationship, I don't feel like this anymore. But at the very beginning of our relationship, I thought I was one lucky dude to have a woman this beautiful to want to be with me, because I'm a fat, ugly Mexican that doesn't deserve that. That's literally how I felt, right? So I felt like any wrong thing I did, she was going to be out the door.
same.
Yeah, so right away I'm like, I gotta fix this, because if I don't fix it, she's gone. Like that's literally what I thought.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, he's making me even madder by pushing me.
Right.
Wow.
And I don't, it's that machismo type thing. Not every man is machismo. Machismo
Yeah.
does not make you male.
Right.
Machismo just makes you macho. And there are men out there that are like that do care and do want to know genuinely what's going on, because in my head I'm like, what did I do? What can I do to make it better?
Exactly.
How can we fix this as fast as possible?
Exactly.
And I just man.
But see, that's interesting, because that's the thing, is like, I don't know what he's thinking. Why is he coming at me? Like, why is he want to fix this when I'm telling him back off?
Yeah.
Give me space. But
Yeah.
And then she
You know,
grabs the
that's-
broom, and then I
No.
know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen, we're gonna take another break, and then when we come back, Oh, we're gonna have fun when we come back. We're gonna play a little game when we come back. Okay. So you guys don't want to miss this next part. So here's a couple of more words from some other sponsors, and we'll be right back more with the Molinas. All right.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rob T, from What's on My Mind. Listen, we're about to start the podcast. Before we do, I just wanted to say a few words about our awesome sponsor, Metroflex Gym San Marcos. We've been pumping them like crazy on the show, and there's a reason for that. You see, it was a few years ago, it's probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I first stepped into Metroflex. I got to meet the owners, Daniel and Michelle Haggerty, and let me tell you something. Just them alone makes the very reason why I go to this gym. Back at that time, I was at my heaviest at 465 pounds. Yeah, pretty heavy, I know. Anyway, I walked into the gym. I talked to Daniel and told Daniel exactly what was going on with me at the time. I had some health issues and things like that. And he wasn't interested about, the money. He was interested more in me and my health. And I will never, ever forget that. So, it's for that reason alone that I still continue to go to Metroflex. This is about 6 years ago. Now, since then, I've had, fluctuations, of course, as we all do. But the one thing that I love is that these guys don't give up on me. They don't call me a quitter. They don't press me or anything, but they definitely motivate me. If you are looking for a gym that is going to look at you and care for you like family, I'm telling you, you've got to go to Metroflex Gym San Marcos. If you're in the San Marcos area, it could be Kyle, Buda, could be New Braunfels. You're not that far away. Metroflex Gym is really not that far away. Look, the address, it's really simple. It's 2101 Clovis Barker Road, San Marcos, Texas, 78666. That's Highway 123, like you're going to Seguin. It's not that far. Okay, look, if you want more information, look them up online, www.metroflexsanmarcos.com, or give them a call, 512-878-8575. Metroflex Gym. They care for you like family, but also it is the hardcore place to get back in shape. Don't forget, Metroflex Gym. Whoa. Oh, no way. Hey, Will.
Yo, what's
Get
up?
over here. Look at this.
What am I looking at?
I'm in Facebook right now. Look at these numbers.
Dude, what did you do?
Dude, look at these numbers now in Instagram.
What? How?
Yeah. They've gone up in just a couple of weeks.
How?
By listening to Enid Jones. That's right. So if you are wanting to start a business in 2020 and you wanted to grow on social media, then you know where you need to start? You need to contact Enid Jones, the Social Mermaid. She's a photographer and social media strategist. She will help give you a strategy to move forward in 2020 with a practical, realistic approach or growth. For testimonials, reviews, and more, you need to go find her on Facebook or Instagram. We listened to her, and in just a couple of weeks, man, our numbers are up. So if you go to Instagram, you can find her by pix.by.enid. That's pix.by.enid. And if you go on Facebook, just search Enid Jones Photography. She's not that hard to find. Go and search her today. Hey, are you a super fan of the What's on My Mind podcast? Are you ready to show it off? Well, now you can, because we've got official merchandise. You need a t-shirt so that your friends can know who you listen to? All you got to do is contact us, wommpodcast@gmail.com. We got shirts, we got cups, we got stickers, all for you. Contact us today.
And we are back with our third segment here. But before we get started, we want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this segment, and that is Collector University. Professor J is the man, y'all. Y'all need to make sure to get in touch with him, and how you can do that is by going on Facebook or going on Instagram, searching Collector University. You're going to find top-notch collectibles. I'm telling you, Funko Pops, Pokemon cards, comic books, action figures. I mean, he's got it all. He does all of his stuff on eBay, reasonable prices. Plus, whenever you do order something, he always tries his best to send you a little something extra. And I got to give him a shout out because for those of y'all that don't know, Professor J is actually our good friend of the show, John Garcia, but he's also my best friend. And this kind of goes along with the whole collector thing. Will, guess what he got me? It was technically a Christmas gift, he said, but it didn't come in time.
Right.
So he brought it by to me later.
Right.
He asked me the most random question one day. Most random, and he does that sometimes. He asks the most random things. And he goes, hey, did you ever think about what you would name yourself if you were like in the Star Wars world? Right? and like if you were gonna be a Jedi or something like that. And he freaked out because I go, oh yeah, I already know what my name is.
Of course he does.
And he's like, you do? And I go, yeah. He goes, well, what would it be? I go, Tibor Revan. He said, really? He goes, how did you come up with that? I go, well, Tibor, first of all, is Rob T backwards. And then Revan, for some reason, I've always liked the name Kevin, but without the K, the R for Rob. So Revan. So Tibor Revan was the name that I always... I'm way back in the day, I used to be into those role-playing games, and I was playing the Star Wars one. That was the name of my character, right? So little did I know he was gathering it for information, right? So he shows up. What was it, a couple weeks ago, something like that? I forget.
Yeah,
he came
it wasn't
by the
that
house.
long ago.
No, it wasn't that. He came by the house, and he gives me a box, and it says, first of all, it's kind of cool. The box said Collector University on here, and it was legit, right? He goes, here, this is for you. I was like, oh. He goes, well, it's supposed to be a Christmas gift, but it came late, but here. So I open it up. It's a lightsaber holder. On it, it says lightsaber. I think it's like lightsaber 4, and it said Tibor Revan, and it said Star Wars.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
That's what he got me, and I was just like, wow. So yeah, and I was all like, where's my lightsaber? It's in the garage somewhere. I gotta find it now. So I did find it yesterday, so I'm gonna be displaying that real soon. But anyway.
And it fits perfectly.
Yes, it does. It does. But yes, all your pop culture collectibles, you gotta give a shout out to Collector University. They will hook you up. I know he has, I think it's every Tuesday, I think, or Thursday. I'll have to get the clarification from him, but he does do a thing on Instagram where he opens up packages of Pokemon cards live. And he does a kind of a reveal of what he got and stuff like that. So for all of y'all out there that are into Pokemon, and I know there's a lot of y'all out there, that might be something you want to check out. So check them out on Instagram and on Facebook, Collector University. So we're back, and before we get into a little game I want to play, so what's this about a sandwich, Lucas?
Okay, so before the sandwich, the Collectors University.
Yeah.
Does he have championship belts? Because that's all I've ever wanted since I was a kid. Was a WWE 1980s with the eagle. WWF.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Championship belt. And I've asked Gracie, can I get that? She's like, for what? I'm like, so I can wear it. Like, where would
And
you,
he will.
She's like, where would
Yes,
you wear
he will.
it? I was like, where wouldn't?
That's why he's not gotten it.
I mean, come on.
I'll have
now.
to ask him. I've never asked him.
always
I imagine he can find one.
I'm
you know?
sure he can, because that's one of the things that he does too. Is he'll find things and then he'll sell them. You know, but that's
That's all I've ever. I mean,
That,
that's all.
I know what you're talking about. The old school,
Yeah,
the
the
one that
old
Hulk
one.
Hogan wore, and man,
Yeah.
that was that. Just like the old school Intercontinental Championship,
Yeah.
man. Those were some awesome looking belts.
We went to Walmart one time when John Lodge was probably like 3 or 4 years old, and I said, "You want this championship belt?" It's like, "Oh man, they have the old one." I was like, "You want it?" And he's like, "No."
Wow.
Like, man, that was like my one chance.
Dang.
Lucas, don't you know that WWE has a network now? You can show him all those old school things, get him into it, so that he can actually start liking that stuff.
What's your passcode?
Live on there, please tell us. Tell us, Rob.
It's $9.99 a month, Lucas. That's all.
$9.99 a month. It's not bad at all.
It's not bad, and you get everything. Like I'm over here doing an
I know.
advertisement
Right.
for
Why you
WWE now.
saying
It's
bro?
WWE.
But no, seriously, you do get everything though.
Check.
You get from WrestleMania 1 all the way up till last year's WrestleMania. They're all on there. So all the old school stuff is on there, and they got all of the old WCW. They got all the old
Really?
world class championship wrestling with the Von Erichs.
Do they have?
They got everything.
Global Wrestling Federation
Which one?
with GWF, where 1, 2, 3 Kid first came from.
I don't think they have that one.
No.
Yeah, these are all the ones that Vince bought. So so like all the old the AEWA and all those that he's got, all they're all on there. So yeah. That's right. You are a old school wrestling fan.
Old school
You haven't really
wrestling.
watched it since then. Yeah,
Y'all should do a wrestling podcast.
we should.
Okay.
Yeah. Quick question. Quick question. We're totally going off subject. I know.
right?
Way off subject.
But I got you here. So quick question.
Got to talk about wrestling.
Your Mount Rushmore of professional
My
wrestling.
God, here we go.
So how many is on Mount Rushmore?
4.
And plus 1, right? I can add 1 just as a.
Yeah,
Okay.
as a runner
Honorable
up.
mention.
in any order or just
Any order.
Okay.
Any order.
Hulk Hogan,
Okay.
Macho Man Randy Savage,
Okay.
Sting,
Okay.
probably Ultimate Warrior,
Okay.
and
Any honorable mention?
probably. Oh man, I already messed up my list. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. So those would be your 5. Okay.
I actually went as Hulk Hogan on Halloween one year.
Really?
I won a costume contest.
Did you talk like him too?
Yeah, I did. I even ripped
Do
off
your
my
impression.
shirt.
Wow.
Brother.
So I ripped off my shirt and everything, and I drew muscles on my with the pink marker, so that way it would look more flesh
With a
tone.
pink marker.
This was last year.
I was skinnier back then. But,
So do you do a pretty good Hulk Hogan?
no, not really. No. I thought I did, but
What about a Macho Man?
no, I don't.
Yeah, everybody can do
I
Macho
might
Man.
be too shy to do that.
There you go. That's awesome.
Gene.
Baby, you gotta bust yours out now.
What?
Your
Which one?
Which
Macho Man.
The Macho Man?
Yeah, he does a good Macho Man.
Let me tell you something, brother. When you get the cream of the crop, I'm talking the top notch. Yeah. Nothing like the Macho Madness to do what he does. Yeah, that's right, Macho Man.
Can you
I
say?
like how he adjusts his glasses every time. Like
That's how he does it.
Like Macho Man
Yeah,
did in
that's
the
how he does
preview.
He's doing all the mannerisms and everything.
Will you say Elizabeth? Elizabeth,
Elizabeth,
will you marry me?
will you marry me?
Is that not how he did it?
Exactly how he did it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ah, the good old days of wrestling when it wasn't fake
Yes.
to us. Anyway,
Yeah, we need to do a wrestling podcast. Lucas,
that'd be
for sure,
fun.
for sure.
That would be fun.
You a wrestling fan, Gracie?
No.
I'm
not.
You know, speaking about that, do you guys? Okay, so I know you're a nerd. You know, do you have any nerdums that you have? Like for me and Melissa, she's Harry Potter nerd, and I'm the Star Wars nerd and the wrestling nerd. Apparently, do you have anything like that?
I don't think.
I was gonna say, don't give me the Christian answer. I'm a Jesus
I
nerd.
know,
Not one of them.
Not that I know of. I
Really?
don't think so. Am I, Luke? No, right? I'm pretty boring, I guess.
No, I wouldn't say boring. I don't know. I don't know what.
You have anything that you're like super into? Like even if
Yeah,
it's not
killing
a
people apparently.
Yeah, true
She's
crime.
into killing
sorry.
people.
true crime. True
Babe,
crime.
why are you listening to that with a notepad and pen?
Yeah,
It
probably
shows no
true crime.
traces, huh?
She's all rewind that. How deep do I have to dig the hole?
How much lime do I put in the barrel? Or lime do I put in the barrel?
So you got nothing that, like old cartoons or nothing like that?
Shows you like to watch, hobbies.
I used to be like big time into Real Housewives. That was pretty much
Yeah.
my, I guess, what I would watch all
Wow.
the time. Yeah, but no, I mean, I guess not. I've got 3 kids. I don't really have time to.
So did you give up all your nerd stuff that you were into?
Wow.
No.
What?
I'm just a big kid at heart.
Of
You know,
course.
And,
You've always
and
been.
honestly, I got married when I was 23, and I met Grace when I was 20, and I matured, but I think that's where I stopped aging, like where I stopped. So I always still feel like young, and I feel like I'm a big kid. I just feel like a big kid, and she kind of kept me like,
Yeah,
you know,
that is so true. I'm 45 and I still feel like I did when I first
Yeah.
got with her.
it's
I feel like that keeps things fun, though. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
why does being older and being an adult mean having to be boring?
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
and it happened so
fun.
quick with the kid. You know, we had kids
Yeah.
pretty quick, but you know, when I was younger, I had to grow up pretty quick, so I never really had that childhood. And then I finally was an adult, and I was like, I was just a big kid. I'm still just a big kid, you know. But you know, she keeps me balanced and keeps me level headed. But
Yeah, so was mine.
you know, like I said, you know, I just feel like just another thing is.
I think it's a good balance though,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
he is goofy and I love that, and so sometimes he'll pull that out of me, you know. But because I'm very shy, like I'm really shy, and I get embarrassed easily.
Yeah.
But him, I mean, he's goofy, and I just I love that about him. So
Oh yeah,
it's a
he's
good
really
balance.
funny.
Yeah.
Very funny. That was what. And the thing is like, okay, so you're gonna be able to relate to this as a wife, right? It's like he's goofy, but if he gets around certain people, it comes out even more. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
you're just like, oh dear God. So anytime Melissa's around and then me and Jose get together, she's just like, oh, man.
He gets a lot of slaps on the stomach. It's like a habit I've developed. Like whenever he says something like just really off the wall, like Roberto, and then I slap him on the stomach.
She started doing it to Jose.
Yeah. So sometimes I have to do like a double slap. Like, don't, stop it. But that's kind of funny because I see that a lot, especially in like the really healthy marriages. You know, they kind of have. It's hard to say opposite, but they kind of have that way that they complement each other. You know, one's one way, one's the other way, and they just kind of bring. They meet somewhere in the middle. They kind of bring out that part in each other.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think definitely. I mean,
And that's the thing too. Is like I don't want to say I allow him to be, but I let him be who he is too.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
so if he wants to sit and watch wrestling or whatever, I'm not gonna be like, I don't like that. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't. That's so boring. Or
and
whatever.
she's a big football fan.
Yeah.
So
So
that's-
I love
Really?
That's a big
I love
plus.
football. So
Yeah.
I mean, there are times where I'm like, we have to get home because the football. I'm not worried about that. And I'm like, no, the football game's on. So
Who's your team?
Titans.
Yeah?
Tennessee Titans. Yes, that's my team.
All right, that's
From the
podcast for the day,
Oilers.
guys.
Now I know you love her.
I didn't. No comment. She's really a Cowboys fan, but
I do like the Cowboys. I mean, I do. I root for them, but if they're playing against the Titans, no. Yeah.
You're gonna love the
all the
advertisement
Titans.
picture I'm gonna put up later. Well, that's cool. Well, at least she likes football.
yeah, and that I think we're like
That's
I like
amazing.
sports. I mean,
That's amazing.
I like most sports.
Mine-
Yeah.
mine
Basketball, football.
I don't know. I get bored when I'm watching football. I like basketball better because it's more fast paced.
Yeah.
Football, I'm just like, oh my god, they're still in the first quarter. You know, what I mean, I just like my attention span just kind of, oh yeah, okay. And it's kind of funny because if I am in the crowd, like if I feel like that excitement, like I can get into it. Like I understand it, you know, and I'm like, okay, babe, who am I rooting for? You
Right,
know?
right.
You know, and I'll root for a team and whatever, and I'll even get, you know, if there's a touchdown, I'll give them a high five.
That's pretty much all she does. She'll be on her phone reading a book or something like that
Yeah.
on her phone, and then I'll be like, "Yeah, babe, they scored." She goes, "Woo!" and I give her the high five. Then she goes back to reading.
but at least she's there. At
Yeah,
least she's
that's
there.
true.
with you,
She's in the
you know?
moment. She's in the
I,
moment.
I can get more into it when there's like other people around too. You
Yeah.
know, if it's just the
Yeah.
two of us, I'm just like, okay, wait. But there's like energy and there's
Yeah.
people like, oh yeah, you know, then
Yeah.
I can get swept up into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like just us, like I could watch basketball like by myself because it's an exciting game and it could go
Yes.
either way.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Real
Right.
quick that table
Yeah.
could just switch.
exactly.
Yeah. For
You
sure.
know, so
And the kids are into it too. I mean, in football, oh my gosh, they're there rooting too. So
Oh, when Dak broke his ankle, my son,
yeah.
my baby boy, he was sitting there and he just see him choking back
Tears
tears
and-
and he was crying. I was like,
that was hard to watch
It
though.
was.
It was. It was
Yeah.
hard
We
to
were
watch.
at a
Like your
restaurant.
ankle doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
We were at a restaurant when that happened, and the lady, the waitress just came and was taking our order, and I was going, "Yeah, I'm gonna have the and we all saw it at the same time, and the waitress was all, it was crazy.
and then he tried to slam it back in.
Yes,
No,
we saw.
yeah, that
We
was the
saw that.
worst.
Oh my god, that was
Not
bad.
dislocated, bro.
right.
It was bad. So anyway, okay, so y'all ready to have some fun now?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a little.
Oh, can I tell my story? Real quick?
Yeah, tell your story.
Oh,
tell
it's
your
about
story.
it's about a sandwich and lunch.
We never got
So
to that.
this might be like a little sappy thing, but okay. So a couple of years ago, Gracie gets up and she makes my lunch in the morning. But it was spring break, and I told her, I said, because I start work at 7, I get up at 5:30 and go out to work, and it was spring break, and I said, don't worry about getting up. I'll get up and make my sandwich that first day. So I go in and make my sandwich, and I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm good. I got it. And then I go to eat my lunch, and I'm like, oh man, this sandwich is dry as heck. I don't even know. I put mustard on it, and it made me think. Husbands out there, pay attention to the little things that your wife does, because she's paying so much attention to detail when she does things for you that you might not realize it until she doesn't do it.
Right.
And then you're having to do it.
Right.
And then it's just not the same. So, and I've always been that way. I've got to appreciate what she does, because I wouldn't switch positions with her right now.
Right.
She's like, maybe I should go to work. I was like, no. I'll go to work. You stay home. You can stay home with the kids. But that's just that little thing that I realized, that she takes that little extra bit and that little attention to detail that I might have not realized until then. And it's just making a sandwich, but that's just the smallest thing. Now, can you imagine how much attention to detail she pays, with the bigger things that
Right.
you don't even realize and you take for granted? And don't ever take your wife for granted. Husbands, remember those little things you do, and remember she is your best friend, and
Yeah.
you should want to hang out with her and be with her, and
For sure.
just remember the little things.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's definitely good advice.
I've got to know though, what was it that you were missing in your sandwich?
Yeah, I'm all confused now. I'm thinking,
Right.
So it was a special
Tomato.
type. It was a special type of bread, but I put mustard like no one's business, and it was still dry. So I don't know if she just put extra mustard, but it was. I was like, man, what is she trying to do? I was like, oh wait, I made the sandwich.
Right.
So, but no, it was just.
It was
mustard.
missing the love.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Why isn't she making my?
he made it with hunger, not with love.
There you go.
Meanwhile, she's making the sandwich. She's like, all right. So we're gonna play a little game here. I'm gonna test y'all's knowledge of each other. Okay. And actually, me and Melissa are gonna play too. So
We are?
we'll see.
Oh.
Yeah, we are.
She's all
Yay.
confused and
Haka.
lost.
So y'all
know.
remember the old school newlywed games and stuff?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Okay. So let's start off with this question. All right.
Okay.
So here's the question.
Wait,
What?
shouldn't I read the question since you and Melissa are playing?
Well, it's just that I'm gonna kind of bounce around. I'm not gonna ask all the questions.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So here's the first question. What did and that's for each other, right? Okay. So what did they wear on the first date? You go first.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first date.
Ooh, good question.
He's gonna know I don't. A button-down shirt. A blue button-down shirt.
Am I supposed to correct her or?
Do you remember what
Make-
you
Oh, he
wore?
remembers.
Make your
everything.
make your final guess, and then we'll ask him.
A blue plaid button-down shirt.
Lucas.
I wore a blue plaid button-down shirt,
Nuh-uh.
shorts, black socks, and my Michigan cap.
Wow.
Wow.
She was wearing, I think it was like a blue shirt. You know how they used to have those shirts inside of shirts? It was like a little blue
he
shirt.
said, I think.
Yeah.
Like a blue shirt with a white shirt, and then
Oh, okay.
yeah, I remember. I went to the bowling alley.
Wow.
Yes, I remember that.
It was April 4th, 2003.
Good.
Yes.
It was a Friday.
Wow. Okay. Melissa?
A jersey?
Was it black and red?
A black
7?
No, a black jersey.
No.
I don't know. I don't even know what our first date was.
That's awesome.
First date, I remember the blouse she was wearing. She was wearing
face.
kind of what you said, the shirt on the inside of her
Yeah.
shirt. She had this black one that she wore that was long sleeve, and it had like a pink striped shirt that came out with a collar. She wore that, and blue jeans, and you wore your tennis shoes. And our first date was at the first actual going out date was at the Olive Garden, and we went to go to the museum to go in San Antonio to go see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what I was
That's
wearing.
neat.
I don't remember what I was wearing, so you get a pass on that one. Okay. So you guys just got through telling us wonderful stories about your relationship and everything, but who is y'all's celebrity crush?
I know who hers is.
Who's her celebrity crush?
I don't know.
Do you know? Do you have a celebrity crush?
Yeah, I have a celebrity
Okay.
crush.
Who is it?
I've told you.
Who?
Dang, you all upset.
Oh my goodness.
Who is it? Who is it?
Well, there's two. It's Chris Pratt and Ryan Reynolds.
Good choices.
Okay, so chubby Chris Pratt.
No, not
He's not chubby. Leave
not
him
chubby.
alone.
or ripped Chris Pratt. There's the difference.
I like them both. I like them
He's
both.
funny.
Yeah, that's what I like
So
about
does
him. He's
Lucas
funny.
have one?
Do you have one?
No, my heart only belongs to
You really don't have a celebrity crush.
No, he does.
Yes, he does.
man.
Do you know who it is? No.
You can guess.
I don't know. Who do Shakira?
No. She'll always ask me. Do
I know
think
you
that
used to
girl-
like Kirsten Dunst.
She said, "No, oh
Yes,
my
you
gosh, no, I
did.
didn't. No, I didn't."
Okay, he
she would
wants to
say,
say-
she always asked me, "Do you think that girl's pretty?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "You liar." I'm like, "I don't think she's pretty." I said, "She's like, well, what do you think? What do you think makes her pretty?" I said, "Well, her smile, her eyes, and her profile." You know, I said, so I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Don't really have one. Wow. I'm impressed.
I would say,
It's kind of hard when you're put on the spot
Yeah,
like
I
that,
know.
though.
But that's the whole.
well, not for her.
But I mean,
You
like,
see how-
no, I'm just saying. I bet you, like, on the drive home, like, oh, that person, like, yeah, she's totally hot.
No, we've had this discussion before, but I mean, Aubrey Plaza, April from
Oh, okay.
Parks and
Okay.
Rec,
Oh, okay.
and
Wait, no, I think I know who that is actually.
I have no idea who that is.
She's the one who's real, like, deadpan. Like,
Yes,
she does, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
okay.
and then I guess that's it.
Nothing.
Well, and then
All right.
Chris Pratt's wife.
So
Or-
Oh, who was the one that used to like Michelle Rodriguez, right? Isn't
No,
she the one?
no.
Which one's the one you used to like from Fast and the Furious?
If I have to pick, and it would be that girl from Pitch Perfect,
Which one?
the redheaded girl.
I was about to say Rebel Wilson.
I know.
She's funny, but
I love her.
the redheaded girl.
The main one?
Oh,
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick?
Anna Kendrick.
There you go. I couldn't remember her name.
had to be a singer.
Yeah.
Okay. She's got several.
Like,
Johnny Depp, Jason Momoa, Roman Reigns, but he looks a lot like Jason Momoa.
Don't nod too
Yeah.
much, Gracie.
Ryan, she likes Ryan Reynolds.
I do.
Yeah, she likes him. And this one because she got to meet him in person, and I have the picture to prove it.
Okay, that was an accident.
She apparently has a thing for Kevin Nash.
Okay,
Kevin
like
Nash.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like yes. Yeah.
She,
Like, it's weird
she was
because-
all up on him too.
Well,
Okay,
no,
wait,
because
wait.
like I
Who's
never
Kevin
thought
Nash?
anything
He's a
of
wrestler.
him. Like
Oh,
I knew
okay.
who he was, but you see him in person, he's like larger than life. Like it's like when you see them in person, like he was like jacked, and I was like, oh my.
So he's all like this, taking a picture with us, right? And I'm just like sitting next to him like that, and I'm doing this, and she's over there all like snuggled up. Like, wow, really? It's like-
That is a sexy old man.
so there you go.
Yeah. It's kind of like with you, I know who your old celebrity crushes were, but I don't know your new one. Like, I know you used to like Angelina Jolie, but I don't think you do anymore.
Not anymore.
I know you like Lita. You're
Yeah,
always going to
yeah.
like Lita.
Oh yeah.
You like Bailey, if they're a wrestler.
What can I say?
Yeah. Gal Gadot? No?
Not really.
You're not into Wonder Woman?
She's gorgeous.
She's very pretty.
Not really.
Why not? No, I'm just kidding.
I have no idea. Nah, not really.
Honestly, beyond, like, I know you have other ones, but I only know, like, your old ones. Like,
Yeah. Angelina Jolie used to be one of them, but
Yeah.
then she went kind of crazy. But
a little bit.
but yes, you got it right. Lita definitely, and Bailey. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're both wrestlers.
Yeah.
So, but also I do like what the heck is her name? I can't remember her actor name. I just know her character name. Padme.
Oh, you like,
Natalie Portman.
there you go. Really?
But the funny thing is, I only like her as Padme.
Oh.
As crazy as that sounds, I only like her as Padme. Anyway, okay,
that,
cool.
that's a nerd thing. Yeah.
I guess. Okay.
That's like saying you like Leia.
Okay, here's a good one, and I say this is a good one because you mentioned in the first segment that when you first got together and told your family about him, they were like, "Yeah, I remember Lucas. He was weird." So, here's the question: what is their weirdest quirk?
What is his weirdest,
His
or
weirdest
his
quirk.
grossest?
His what?
Whatever.
What'd you say?
His
Grossest.
worstest?
Gross.
Oh, his
Girl.
oh, we can go grossest.
Probably his weirdest.
You don't do the
Quirk.
leg show, do you?
No.
What?
The
I
what?
have no idea.
Steve Trevino, the leg
The
show.
Lake Show.
No.
Okay.
For those that know, they know. Anyway, go ahead.
Your weirdest would probably just be the. Oh my god! Everything has to be like an even number.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, really?
No.
Oh yeah.
Well, what do you think your weirdest?
But everything's
and
gotta
it
be
drives
even.
me nuts because if I turn the radio down or something, he's like, no, and he has to turn it.
Like it has to be 16, not
Yes.
15.
Yeah, it's got to be even.
What?
I started counting syllables when I was 12.
Yeah, counting syllables.
So every time someone would talk, and they would end up on an odd number. I said, "What was that?" And they would have to repeat it, so that would be even. I never count. I never
Yeah.
count my own syllables, and I don't count singing. And it's only when people talk, especially in movies. So, but what I do is I go like this with my feet, and I'm constantly counting syllables ever since I was 12 years old.
I knew somebody who did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my ex actually did that, but with him,
He's in a home now. I'm just kidding.
no, but if they ended on an odd number, he would say something to make it an even number. Like what was that?
Yeah.
Like another.
Yeah.
To make it even.
Yeah.
So like with him, it was a little bit different. But yeah, I've never known anybody else who done that.
And then I would be like California, Florida. So I'd have to okay, those are 5, and I would count, and then I started thinking I know what words have how many syllables, so then I didn't have to count them. So it was just like it's math.
Wow.
I think her strangest quirk would be, and I don't really have anything, but I think the craziest thing is that when she goes to eat something, she goes like this. I don't have a fork. Let's say I have a fork. She goes.
no, I don't.
It's real subtle. She goes.
So she'll lick it first and then eat it.
It's not even lick it.
To
It's
test
just
it.
touch it
Just
with
touch
her
it like-
tongue.
And I don't do. I don't think
that's
I
the
do that, but
weirdest
he
thing.
says that's the way
the
I do.
quirkiest thing. I think that.
Wow.
Well, a weird thing that I do too that I think is kind of close to his is, if like when somebody's talking, if a word like catches my attention, I have to write it like on my hand or something, and it has to like be perfect. Like I have to write it like just perfect.
Or you
I don't
get
know, it's
answer.
weird. Yeah, and Luke's like, "What are you writing?" I'm like, "Oh, am I writing something?" Yeah.
Wow. Okay, my turn. I don't even know if I would call it a quirk. The weirdest thing for her is her thumb. That's
Wait, you got to explain.
no, I don't. She can show you,
Okay, but I mean the
but I do
listeners
need
aren't
to
going to
explain.
see it. But
So look at her thumb.
Holy moly!
How do you do that?
bonus.
I don't know.
So Melissa can
Like it's
bend
always just
her,
been natural to me.
she can
Wow.
bend her thumb back to where it almost touches her wrist or something.
Double jointed thumb.
It's a double jointed thumb, and it's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in
Like
my
the
life.
top joint.
First
Yeah.
time,
Yeah, I've never seen that.
first time she did that, I was just like, oh, oh. So that to me, that's the weirdest one that she's got. So you,
I'm trying to think of there was nothing you've done that I really found weird. I guess a quirk. I actually haven't even seen you do this in a while. Whenever
Okay.
you would get nervous, like you would do, what was it?
something with my hands.
Yeah, like you would do like kind of a
I
quick
remember
clap.
I remember he used to do that.
Yeah, or like that really fast scratch you do with your ear.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
that. You take your finger, put it in your ear, and just go.
Easy.
And I
Don't
lost
break those
my
headphones.
earphones, man. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like he'll scratch his ear like really fast and really hard.
Yeah. I used to get made
It's
fun
like-
of for that.
You okay, bro?
So yeah, that's good. That's good. Cool. All right. So let's see what else. Oh, this is a good one. Who's the best cook?
Lucas.
Wow.
not even a
not even a
hesitation.
thought there.
No.
Wow. Do you agree with that?
No comment. No, I think Gracie
It's okay.
is a wonderful cook. I just think she doesn't think of herself that way. So
Aw.
I do. I love what she cooks. I love to eat dinner that she makes. But I like to. I don't know recipes. I just grab whatever's in there and throw it in there. And she's like, "What was it?" I said, "I don't know. Does it smell good?" Yeah. Okay. Then it's gonna taste good.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right. So you say Lucas.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite dish of his?
Probably his ribeyes. The ribeye steaks are good.
Nice.
Shit, man.
I know, right? I've got
Yeah.
3 different ways I make them.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Cool. Okay. I'm gonna let her answer.
Well, it really depends on what we make.
She's right.
Yeah, because if it's Mexican food, it's Rob. Like he makes like the straight up like authentic Mexican food. Like he's awesome at that.
His head's swelling up. I can see it over here. His head's swelling up.
Doesn't take much. Yeah.
Anything else would be me.
Yeah. Anything else? Is
Not anything
now,
else, but I love to bake. Like that's my main thing.
Baking is her thing. I can't bake at all. Nope. Don't like to do it.
One thing I can't make is hamburger meat.
Really?
I cannot make hamburger meat. Like for soft tacos, I cannot make hamburger meat.
Really?
Oh, like yeah.
I cook it and there's like no flavor. I'm like,
Oh wow.
Put spices in it, bro.
You know,
Right.
my thing is eggs. I am not good at eggs.
she's
I can
really
make
good at
I can make good eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really good
I don't
at
know why. Like that's just the one thing. Anything like I like to experiment with food. I like to try new recipes and everything, but I can learn anything. But eggs, I'm just not that great at. Yeah.
She makes really good fideo. Like I'm almost jealous to say she makes it better than me.
Wow.
Yeah, and the thing is now she makes fideo the way I make
Yeah.
it. So I have a special way of making fideo that my grandmother brought me up on it. And there might be other people that do it out there, but I haven't really heard of any that do. So when I make fideo, when I'm done, like when it gets to that point where it's, for those of y'all that don't know what fideo is,
Vermicelli.
Vermicelli.
Vermicelli noodles. Okay. When it gets to that final stage of cooking where you kind of turn it off and let it just kind of simmer, as soon as I do that, I put cheese slices on top and cover it, and just let the cheese melt all over the top. My grandma used to make it like that. Made fideo like that ever since. Gave it to her the first time. That's all it took. That's how she eats it from now on.
I've actually ordered it at restaurants, and I was like, "Can I get some shredded cheese?" And they're like, "Oh, sure."
You know what fideo is, right?
It's like he ruined me.
So
Now I gotta have it with cheese.
So what's your favorite dish of mine?
Oh, that's a good question.
You already know what mine is of yours.
Wait, which the stuffed shells? And I haven't even made that in forever because it's so freaking labor intensive.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, I love your caldo, of course, and then I don't know, maybe your enchiladas.
That's
I don't.
something
There's a
don't make
lot
all
of
the time.
stuff. Like I'm probably gonna think of stuff. You know what? Like of the soups that you make, I think I like your pozole the best, honestly, because it's
Cool.
so good.
Awesome.
Hey, I had his maneuver. His maneuver.
Oh, his menu though.
Oh my god,
it's
his maneuver was
insane.
off the point.
Like I promise. Like right now, it's better than yours. Like straight up, whoever's it's better than yours.
That's right. You too, abuelita. All right. Here's another one. You ready? Ready for this
Okay.
one? All right. What is their worst habit? Ooh. Look at her. Gracie's making that face.
Should I say it?
Yeah, say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yes, say it.
Okay.
What is his worst
Say it.
habit?
He has a bad habit
Yeah.
of picking his nose.
No, I don't.
Wherever.
Scratching my brain. You know, this is going like across the world, right?
Lobo.
There's someone in
being honest,
Italy. There's
it's
someone
okay.
in Italy right now going, "Oh, he like to scratch it all."
Me too.
What accent was that? That was not Italian.
I have no idea.
No, I bet you there's a bunch of husbands nodding in agreement. Like I do that too.
Yeah. Okay, what's her worst habit?
Making fun of my nose. No, I don't think she has any habits. I don't think there's anything like.
Come on, man. She ain't perfect.
No, no. I mean, I really can't think of anything that a bad habit or anything like that. I don't know. What do you think might be a bad habit that you have? I don't know. I mean,
I would probably say my burping, maybe that you don't like when I burp.
oh yeah, maybe. But
Yeah,
You burp like a man.
yeah. Sometimes, sometimes, yeah.
She impresses me sometimes. She really does. especially after she's been drinking that Topo Chico.
dude.
Yep, she impresses me. All right, you're first on this one now.
I was about because yours is easy. I already know what yours is
What's
going to be.
mine?
I don't know. Because some of the stuff that I could say is annoying about you, like I do too, like leaving your stuff like on the floor. Like I've started doing that too.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Don't judge.
Because I would always get onto him for like
judging.
leaving his stuff on the floor, but then like recently I've started doing that too. So I'm like, okay, like I can't. Like I try to pick it up, but then I'm like,
Dirty chones all over this.
Oh, you know what? Don't even talk, Mister.
I
Like
was talking about mine.
I was about to say, like I eventually put mine in the dirty hamper. Like your hamper is right there, and it's on the floor next to it.
Wow.
It depends.
Come
How dirty
on.
is it? Does it pass the sniff test? How close to your
It
face?
never passes the sniff test. Men's chones do not pass the sniff test ever.
Is it inside, outside, forward, backward?
My man. All right, my turn. Honestly, the what I think is her worst habit is she don't put down the phone.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say my nail biting.
Nah, your phone's worse.
Yeah, it is. I'm terrible with my phone. I really am.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. There are times when she's on it, she's reading, stuff like that. But when it gets to be kind of annoying, like for me, is like when we sit down to watch something, and I'm like, oh, did you see that or something like that? Like I get it, you're not into the show that much, but then I'll be like, all right, but check this out, check out this move, check out this movie does, check out this move, and then
It's always about wrestling.
and then I look over at her, she's not even looking. I'm just like,
Never mind, you missed it. Yeah, I hear that all the time.
is that what he says?
I'm not gonna
Never
watch
mind.
wrestling every single night, all night. Like, okay, yes, cool. And then like 5 minutes later, hey, look at this, look at this. 5 minutes, hey, look at this. Oh my God, like let me read.
You didn't say that when we first got together.
When we first got together, we were watching it every night.
There was no WWE network back then.
That's a good point.
He eased into it. Like I can watch it, I can get into it. You know, I like the back, behind the scenes stuff, but I don't want to watch it all the time. All the time.
That must be his pet peeve.
So Monday,
all the time.
So that would be my worst habit, huh? So Monday is Raw, right? Tuesday, of course, we record the podcast. Wednesday is AEW
Dynamite.
and NXT, but I don't really watch NXT. And then Friday is SmackDown. And then, of course, there could be a pay-per-view on that Sunday.
Okay.
And sometimes you'll still find something to watch on Thursday.
You remember when they had Saturday Nitro? Or
Yeah,
they
Saturday
had-
night's main event.
Yeah, Saturday
Yeah.
night event, and then they had on Sunday. They also had a Sunday Night Heat,
Yes.
and they also had WCW on Sundays.
Yes, that was a lot of wrestling.
Yeah.
So she's got a valid point for that one. All right, so this one
I
might
like
be
things too.
this one might be a little personal, but it's not bad personal. Okay, but so what is each other's pet name for each other? Like, what do you call her? What's her pet name? What's his pet name?
Gracious saying no.
I mean, no,
It's like nope.
a pet name? I just only call him Babe.
That's it. There's no other pet name.
There's no, no.
If she says Lucas John, then I know
You're in trouble?
Something's
Yeah.
up. I mean, I just call her Babe. When I get home every day, I call her my way
yeah.
of saying beautiful. I call her Birdifer.
Birdifer.
So
Oh, yeah.
I say,
That's
hey,
cute.
Birdifer. So that or Babe, Birdifer or Babe.
Oh, that's nice to know that we're not the only married couple that makes up funny names like that. Like when we talk about, like we say our family because we don't have kids. We're talking about me and her and our dogs, and we call it our little Flammy.
Oh,
Little
Yeah.
Flammy.
Yeah, little
Oh.
Flammy. That's a good point. I don't even know if I have a pet name for you.
It depends on if we're being silly, because really we
Yeah.
just call each other babe. But like sometimes it's like, oh, I love you, poo head. Yeah.
Yeah, I do call her Pooh Head.
And then I'll call him poo face. Or if I'm being like, or if I'm being really like, oh, you snugga bunches, snooky wooka, like if I'm being stupid, but it's not something I call him like all the time.
Yeah, but Babe is probably
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
you guys. As Babe is probably the
Babe.
thing. How we on? All right, one more question, and then we'll call it. So let me pick a good one here. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there's got to be a real good one. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. What are you most likely to argue about?
Go ahead. It might be this podcast on the way.
That was awesome.
How far does Uber go?
I try not to get angry with you too much, but I'd probably say the leaving the clothes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think what it is like if I'm home and I clean all day, And then he just comes and his clothes just land. I mean, it's like wherever he takes
Right.
off, that's where they're at.
Right.
And so that's where I'm like, can you just pick your clothes up? Like I cleaned all day long.
To my defense, I don't get undressed in the hamper, so. So.
I'm gonna use that one.
Yeah. I don't know. What was the question?
What are you most likely to argue about?
I guess it's probably just all me. Honestly, so whatever she says is pretty accurate. Probably that. Like I said, because like real quick, that can turn. She could take that and turn as me being disrespectful to her and what she's done all day and what she put her energy towards.
Right.
So and then
Where in your head you're just taking off.
I'm taking off my work clothes,
Yeah.
but yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, it's probably all on me. I mean,
So is ours. It's all me. Honestly, I can probably answer for both of us. Mine would be, or ours would probably be when it comes to like money.
Yeah.
Same.
yeah, yeah.
See, and it's not even that that I'm bad with money anymore. I used to be really bad with money, but I get into these modes sometimes.
Like sometimes he'll get like a little like he'll want to do these impulse buys like I need that I need a guitar
Yeah.
and even then it's not a
See
big
how
deal.
she brought up that?
Oh wow! Did you just buy a guitar?
And it's not
But it's-
like cheap impulse buys either.
Yeah. And the thing is like if you want to get something that's fine, but it's like no, I want it now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yes.
just now tactics.
Yes.
Like a
We work
5-year-old child.
hard. We work hard.
I think that's probably that's
No.
probably one of our things too, because he's a spender and I'm the one that budgets and
Yeah.
like.
Good Lord,
and
we
my
are so
nickname
much
actually,
alike.
Yes.
I know he had a
So
nickname
much
for
alike.
me, DK, but it was Dream Killer because
It's just like
I'm DK. Yeah,
I mean we have mortgage to pay, but whatever. Yeah.
But I haven't been like that in a long time.
yep.
Oh, but you know what was the worst thing? Is that she's like, we'll just, so I want to go to Guitar Center. Why? So you can window shop? I'm like, ooh. I need something to mend my heart. But I finally got my dream guitar
Yeah.
last Christmas. So.
That's awesome. That is hilarious. I'm stealing that dream killer thing.
DK. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I guess that would be a pet name.
And yes, you're so mean. 'Cause-
No. Look, this is how it came. This is how it came about. When I first mentioned the guitar, I had been saying this for a while. Like I'm gonna pay off what I've gotten because I use a certain company. I'm not gonna say the name.
There you go. There you go. Way to go,
Because
Rob.
they
I'm
ain't
proud of
paying
you.
us money.
I'm proud of you.
But
man.
it's a company where you order music equipment and they send it to you right away and then you pay it off. That's how I got my drums. My drums were about $1,200 total, but I paid off on it for a year. And it's not like it's a huge chunk. It's really a really awesome company because they know what it's like to be a musician, right? So I knew I wanted to get this guitar. Yes, I changed what I said. I wanted to get this guitar, but I knew I had to pay off what I had already bought, right? I had bought this speaker for the guitar. So
I thought you said you paid that off already.
no, I did. I was getting to that. Let
Okay,
me finish the story. So I brought it up. I think it was last week I brought it up. And she's like, you got to pay off what you have first. I go, yeah, I know. I already did. And she was just like, okay. But I don't think she anticipated me buying it the next day.
And not on top of that, he comes at me with, oh, it's going to be like $40 a month.
Which it is.
But you have to put down a down payment.
$40.
No. Then what was that $100 and something dollar?
That was what I paid off on the...
You said you paid it off already.
I did. That's how much I paid
Oh
off.
my God.
Technically.
So he's like, I paid it off. Wait, he hadn't paid it off when I asked him, so he paid that off, and then so I see $100 and something, and then two $40 other payments toward this same company on a mortgage week. I'm just like, babe, I can't buy groceries. Oh,
No, wait,
okay.
real quick. So she gets home from Victoria, and I got the guitar to show it to her, right? I got it to show it to her. I go, look, check it out. And then what did you say? What did you say when I handed
Yeah,
you
he
the
goes,
guitar?
meet Vader.
I said, meet Vader. I named my
I go,
guitar Vader.
oh, hi, Vader. Nice to meet you. You owe me groceries.
That's exactly what she said. I grabbed
It's like, really, dude? Like, you couldn't wait till Friday?
So I grabbed the guitar and I just kind of turned around and just walked off.
just like,
Why can't you be happy
he
for me?
He comes at me like, oh, I'm already paid off. Like, he still had to pay off $100 and something. He doesn't tell me that. And then like, no, he needs it now. You know, so.
My other guitar was in the shop.
Well, how long did it take for the guitar to get here?
Apparently pretty fast.
I know.
Right?
You're saying.
Like,
Was
not
that-
even a couple of days.
Yeah, 2 days.
He could have totally
He must
waited
have
until
paid for, like,
Friday.
expedited shipping.
You should have said the $160 was for express shipping.
That would not have helped whatsoever because his gig is not for another like close to a month. He did not need that now. He could have waited till Friday and still had it in time.
was insurance.
And now we're gonna overdraw.
Look at Sean.
She's like, you're not helping.
She's like, I'm counting that. I'm counting that
No.
You have to
She's
tell me.
writing that in her palm.
So yeah, needless to say, I was not a happy camper.
She wasn't, but we got through
It's
it.
done.
We
like,
got through it.
You got Vader.
Sort of.
You got Vader.
We got through it.
You got Vader.
Oh my god.
I think the thing that bugs him the most is when he wants something like a guitar or whatever. I'm like, don't you have like 6 or 7 of them already?
Oh,
like
no.
I don't have that.
you need to
one.
fix those.
Oh, and then you're like, do you really need? Like they get all sad.
Yeah.
I guess I don't have to have it.
Wow.
That's how it is.
When did you say your best to God sessions for real?
Oh my god.
They are like,
I told you we're a lot alike.
But then it's like, well, I'm glad that she's not like, yeah, I get it, yeah, because then we'd be
True.
on the streets.
That is
with
very
a lot
true.
of
a guitar.
equipment,
Yeah.
but we'd be on the
We'd still
streets.
be on the streets. I will say this though. I was, and I did tell her this the other day. I was like, at least it's not like the way it used to be. Because I did that one time. I bought another guitar, which is a sad story because, oh dear God. Anyway, but I went and got another guitar just because I wanted it. I liked the way it looked, and it was back when I was bad with money. So it was like, oh, I have the credit. I'll get it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. And it ended up backfiring me anyway because I lent it to somebody and they dropped it and split it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's God teaching you a lesson.
That's what happens. Yeah.
Little
So-
financial.
Anyway, this has been a very, very, very fun conversation.
I bet.
And we have learned a lot. And I'm really like amazed at how alike we are as
Yeah.
couples.
Yeah.
I have a feeling after this they're gonna be calling each other. What did you do when he said this? Anyway, I thank you guys so much for being on the show.
Yes,
Thank you.
It was a lot
Thank
of
y'all
fun.
for having us.
Yeah,
It's fun.
we really do
Yeah.
appreciate it. And I definitely want to bring you back for a wrestling podcast.
Yeah,
for
that'd
sure.
be classic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, classic, classic. But definitely got to bring you back for that. But yeah, I mean, and we'll probably have you back on for some other topics as well. But yeah, this was a whole lot of fun, and no arguments afterwards.
Right.
It all stays
Increase
here.
the peace. Increase the peace.
It all stays here, honey.
If she would have just said chubby Chris Pratt. But now every time I watch Lord, or was it what is it called?
Guardians of the
Guardians of the
Galaxy.
Galaxy. Oh, come
You're
on.
gonna be all pissed off watching it.
I'm gonna go watch
not
Pitch
that
Perfect.
great.
I'll be back.
You're gonna be like him with Thor. Yeah, tall guy, not that good looking.
Oh my god. Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. Anyway, Will, do you got anything you want to say before we close
I'm
out?
good, brother. I'm good.
He's over there like eating popcorn.
No, I'm enjoying the view. Conversation.
Hilarious. Honey, what about you? You got anything you want to...
No, I think it's.
I think you
said
said
it
what
all.
you need to say, huh? Yeah. Okay. I think I'm sleeping on the couch tonight, guys. Oh, man. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us on the What's on My Mind podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast platform. Make sure you check out our official Facebook page at facebook.com/WOMPodcast. That's facebook.com/WOMM podcast. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and email us if you have any questions or about today's episode or any kind of maybe show ideas. We could always use those as well. You can email us at wompodcast@gmail.com. So questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to email us at any time. So until next time, this has been Rob T,
It's big, Will.
And there's Melissa.
and you've been listening to
What's on My Mind?